a fan-made audiobook of
Lego Ninjago, Quest for the Lost Powers. 4 Untold Tales. Thank you for coming to visit, friend. If you have time, let us catch up over a fresh pot of tea. Because I have tales to tell you. 4 tales, to be exact. 4 tales that the world does not yet know. You may have already heard that the last time the ninja faced the Overlord, they lost their elemental powers. Kai lost the power of fire. Cole lost the power of earth. Jay lost the power of lightning, and Zane lost the power of ice. These 4 ninja disappeared from the public, but then they returned with their powers restored. Rumors flew about how the ninja did this. Intense training, sorcery, a journey to another realm. The rumors became more and more wild, but the ninja remained silent. Silent to most, but not to me. Today, I will tell you the stories as the 4 ninja told them. Their journeys were very different, but all of them were filled with danger, adventure, and excitement. Now then, let us begin before my tea gets cold. Zane. Chapter 1. Looking for Clues.
Zane, please hold still,
Pixel said in a patient voice.
I am holding still.
Zane protested.
No, you are not.
Pixel countered.
Now I just have one more sensor to attach to your circuits.
Pixel and Zane are busy in the Samurai X cave, located deep beneath the sea of sand. They had retreated to Nia's old hideout after their underground hangar bay became buried in the rubble of the monastery of Spinjitzu during the assault of the Crystal King. Filled with computers, vehicles, and parts to build mechs, Pixel had found the alternate space to be very useful. In the weeks since the ninja had lost their elemental powers, the android had dedicated herself to finding a way to help Zane restore his power of ice. Zane's journey to become the Titanium Ninja contained many twists and turns. This extraordinary ninjoid was created by the brilliant Dr. Julian and then given the power of ice from the elemental Ice Master. Yet, before he passed away, Dr. Julian had turned off Zane's memory switch. Believing he was just an ordinary boy, Master Wu, myself, took in the ninjoid and trained him to be a ninja, along with Kai, Cole, and Jay. Zane regained the memory of who he was, but as the ninja faced ever-growing challenges, his memory came and went. He was nearly destroyed during a battle with the Overlord, and then reborn again as the Titanium Ninja. Pixel had helped him regain his memories later then. Later, when Zane used the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu to try and stop Asphira, who I know all too well, he became stranded in the Neverrealm. The evil General Vex had found him and erased his memories, manipulating them so that he became a cruel Ice Emperor. Then Lloyd had helped Zane remember his true identity. And recently, when the Crystal King set his forces on Ninjago, Zane had crashed his mech and damaged his memory circuit. He reverted back to his Ice Emperor programming, and this time, it took the brilliant engineer Cyrus Borg to repair him. Pixel believed that the key to Zane's recovering his power of ice is connected to exploring these many fractured memories.
We must look for clues,
she had said.
And I believe those clues can be found within you.
Zane had complete trust in his android friend because Pixel understood him better than almost anyone else. But the idea of exploring his memories made him uneasy. Some lost memories felt like an ache deep inside of him, and he would rather not think about some of the things that he was able to remember. He twitched nervously in his chair as Pixel inserted a sensor into a port in the back of his head.
These sensors are critical to your journey.
She explained in a calm, steady voice.
They will immerse you in your memories so you can experience them as though you are actually there.
Zane twitched again.
And will others in the memory be able to see or hear me?
No,
Pixel replied.
you will be an observer only. Now, keep still.
She stepped away from him and moved to the large bank of computer screens. They cast a blue glow on her silver hair and the purple conduit lines on her face.
It will be interesting to see if this technology can restore your elemental powers.
She remarked as she entered a code into the system.
I am working on a way to adapt the tech to work with biological memory banks, perhaps helping the other ninja regain their powers.
I'm sure they are all searching for a way to unlock their true potential again.
Zane replied.
Although it is rather odd I have not heard from any of them.
Pixel spun around in her chair and fixed her green eyes on Zane.
For this first session, I will bring you out of the program in 4 minutes and 30 seconds.
She said.
If something goes wrong, or if you want to leave the memory, just say something. If something goes wrong.
He thought. An image of the Ice Emperor's face, cold and fierce, flashed through his mind.
Understood.
Zane replied.
Are you ready?
Pixel had asked.
Ready.
Pixel turned back to the computer.
Initiating memory exploration in 3, 2, 1.
Whoa! Whoa!
Chapter 2. The Face of Fear. Zane felt like he was falling. And falling. And falling. Then his feet suddenly touched the ground. His sensors immediately detected a change in temperature. It was freezing.
Is this an Ice Emperor memory?
He wondered, and his fear circuits quickened. The memory appeared in front of his eyes. An enormous blue ice dragon thrashed its head. Its body glowed with frost-like energy waves. Bright white lights glowed beyond its narrow eyes. Sharp teeth that looked like silver icicles gnashed in the creature's mouth. The ice dragon was in a large, dark cave. Cowering against the wall, he saw himself, right after he had become the Titanium Ninja. He wore a simple white uniform, and his face and arms gleamed with the brightness of a new, super-strong metal that formed his body.
I look so afraid.
Zane thought.
The details of how I transformed from the White Ninja to the Titanium Ninja are very sketchy. My memory banks were damaged when it happened. But I do remember this. Master Chen imprisoned me in this cave. I experienced strange, terrifying visions and dreams. I did not accept that I had become the Titanium Ninja.
Inside this memory, he watched himself struggle with fear and doubt.
I am not the White Ninja. I am just a replica.
Memory Zane said.
I'm afraid. My powers can't stop him.
Memory Zane cowered as the dragon roared again. Watching the memory unfold before him, Zane remembered that Pixel had communicated with him throughout this entire event.
Close your eyes.
Pixel had said.
Close your eyes.
And see there is nothing to fear.
Memory Zane closed his eyes.
I am not the White Ninja. I am not the White Ninja,
he said.
Who are you, then?
Pixel had asked. Memory Zane stood up. He gazed down at his shining metal body. And then, his eyes flashed. At last, he understood.
I am the Titanium Ninja,
he said slowly. Then he raised his voice.
I am the Titanium Ninja!
Memory Zane went to the dragon, smiled, and placed a hand on the creature's neck. Then the image of a memory blurred and crackled with static. Zane felt like he was falling again. the scene became clear, and he found himself in a new memory. He was standing in front of Master Chen's palace, looking out over the island. The ninja and the elemental masters stared at the sky as Master Chen and his goons took off in jets, stranding everyone there.
I'll go alone,
Lloyd was saying.
And take on his whole army?
Nia had asked. Lloyd threw up his arms.
I'm the only one with an elemental dragon.
Not anymore!
Zane looked up. The ice dragon swooped down from the sky, ridden by Memory Zane. The ninja and the elemental masters had cheered.
Zane, you gotta tell us how you did that!
Jay had said.
I faced my fear.
Memory Zane replied.
I realized it wasn't something in front of me holding me back. It was something inside me.
Zane then watched as the memory ended happily as Kai, Cole, and Jay all created their elemental dragons as well.
To truly become the Titanium Ninja, I had to overcome my fears.
Zane realized.
Is fear what is holding me back now?
Zane tried to think about what he might be afraid of. Then a thought echoed in his circuits.
I am just a replica.
That's what Memory Zane had said before. But what did he mean?
I have been many things.
Zane thought.
I have been the son of Dr. Julian. I have been the White Ninja, the Titanium Ninja, the Ice Ninja, the Ice Emperor. I have been all of those things. But who am I, really?
Then, the memory went black. Chapter 3. Back to the beginning. Zane's eyes fluttered. He was back in the cave underneath the monastery. Pixel's green eyes were staring right at him.
I monitored your systems while you were exploring your memories,
she said.
There was a marked fluctuation in your stress levels. Were you able to figure out how to recover your elemental powers?
Negative,
Zane said.
However, the experience was helpful. In the past, I learned that I needed to face my fears, but I do not believe that is what I need to do now.
Would you like to try again?
Pixel asked.
I would like to try something different.
Zane replied, rising from his chair.
Your program was very successful in implanting me inside a memory. I remembered learning how to manifest my ice dragon. Perhaps to connect with my power of ice. I must return to ice. I would like to return to the frozen lake.
I hope you succeed.
Pixel replied.
Thank you, Pixel.
Zane said. He climbed onto one of the cycles in the hangar bay and sped through the tunnel leading out of the Samurai X cave. As he sped through the winding roads of Ninjago, his mind drifted back to Pixel's experiment.
I am not afraid of anything. Or am I?
He thought.
Perhaps meditation can reveal what my memories could not.
He finally stopped in front of a lake capped with a thin layer of ice. The frozen lake. He smiled. As a young man, before he knew he was an android, he had impressed people with his ability to hold his breath underwater. That was where Master Wu, myself, had found him and invited him to become a ninja, meditating at the bottom of the lake. Zane climbed off the cycle and dove through the ice. He swam down into the freezing water, his circuits protected by his titanium frame. When he reached the bottom, he sat cross-legged and closed his eyes. At first, he just enjoyed the ice-cold water as it hit his temperature sensors. His childhood memories were sketchy, but he did remember that Cole always made him feel calm. His mind began to drift.
What is Cole doing right now? Do I have enough fuel to get back to the monastery? Why does Master Wu love tea so much?
Then he tried to bring his thoughts back to his purpose.
What is it I need to learn to recover my elemental powers?
He tried to clear his mind of all thoughts and concentrate on the feeling of being cold. Cold like the ice skimming the top of the lake. Cold like the wind coming down from the mountains. Cold like the ground after a fresh snow. Suddenly, the ice water began to spin and whirl, and once again Zane felt like he was falling. The scene around him changed, and instead of the bottom of the lake, he found himself in a snowy forest, surrounded by tall birch trees.
Birchwood Forest?
Zane said.
But how? How did I get here?
Then he heard Pixel's concerned voice inside his head.
Zane, something has happened to launch the memory program remotely.
She informed him.
The memory sensors have been activated. I have a theory that your meditative state might have triggered it somehow. Would you like me to end the program?
Zane gazed around the forest.
No.
He replied.
If my meditation brought me here, then perhaps this is a memory I must experience.
He walked down the path, hearing the snow crunch underneath his feet. He stopped at a very large birch tree with a round door carved into the trunk. He opened the door and stepped inside. Dr. Julian's hidden workshop. It was a simple space with a creaky wood floor, a pot-bellied stove to keep his father warm, and a large work table. Dr. Julian's tools hung from hooks on the walls. The workshop had been his home for many years now. And now here he was, reliving a memory that his father had tried to bury. There on the cot lay Dr. Julian, old and taking his last breaths. Zane's younger self, in a body that looked more human than android, held his father's hand.
You were always a son I never had,
Dr. Julian said in a weak voice.
It's time you begin your next stage in life. And the only reason I'm about to do this is because I love you.
Dr. Julian took off his eyeglasses and smiled at Memory Zane, who then smiled back. A tear fell down Zane's cheek as he watched the memory unfold before his eyes. Dr. Julian opened Memory Zane's control panel. Zane knew what he was about to do.
No! Don't do it!
He yelled, but Dr. Julian could not hear him. He shut down the young Nindroid's memory banks. A blank look came across Memory Zane's face. With no memory of his father or his past, he walked out of the workshop and into the snow. Complicated feelings bubbled up in Zane as he watched his younger self leave. The first time he had relived that memory was when he, Cole, Jay, and Kai had traveled to the Birchwood Forest together. Zane had discovered his memory switch and learned the truth about his past. He now remembered that he had been built to protect those who cannot protect themselves. His father had empowered him to unlock his true potential by recognizing the obstacles holding him back. That allowed him to tap into all of his elemental powers to become the strongest ninja that he could possibly be. Unlocking true potential was a goal of every elemental master, and that moment in his past had filled him with confidence. But now he felt defeated.
What would have happened if Dr. Julian had not turned off my memory switch?
He wondered.
Would my life have turned out differently?
Chapter 4. An Icy History. Zane waited for the memory in Dr. Julian's workshop to end, but sadly nothing happened. Curious, he left the hideout. He spotted the footprints of his younger self in the snow and followed them. The blank expression on the young Nindroid's face was gone, replaced by one of peace. The boy was happily building a snowman.
I don't remember this at all.
Zane thought.
In fact, I have never explored the memories of the time between when Dr. Julian erased my memories, and Master Wu asked me to train with him.
The scene in front of him swirled, and Zane felt himself falling into a new memory. This time, young memory Zane was sitting on a rock next to a frozen pond, affixing a blade to a pair of ice skates that looked relatively handmade. He slipped the skates on his feet and then glided onto the ice, gracefully circling the pond as though he had been skating for years. Then the scene blurred and Zane fell through space as the memory changed yet again. Zane was still in the birchwood forest, standing in front of a small house made of blocks of ice. He approached and looked through the window. There, on a bed made of ice blocks, his young self was sleeping peacefully. Zane smiled.
I was alone back then, but I appear to be happy.
Zane said out loud. Then the scene began to swirl yet again.
Help!
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 In this new memory, Zane watched as a father and daughter ran across the snow, pursued by a tree horn. The dangerous creatures were the worst thing about Birchwood Forest. They looked almost like giant, lanky, four-legged spiders with long necks, droopy heads, and sharp tails. Black markings dotted their pale blue skin, and red eyes stared blankly from their faces. They were creepy, fast, and hungry.
Help!
The father cried. The tree horn was catching up on them quickly. Zane charged toward the tree horn, crying.
Ninjago!
He tried to slam into the creature with a spinjitzu tornado, but instead passed right through it. He'd totally forgotten he was just an observer to his own memory.
What is this?
He thought.
Am I to watch this poor family be attacked? Hey, Treehorn! You can't catch me!
Shouted a familiar voice. Memory Zane, still young, sped down a snowy hill, riding a handmade snowboard. He zipped right past the tree horn. The creature's head snapped in Memory Zane's direction, and it gave chase.
Ah!
Memory Zane cried as he expertly led the tree horn on a chase up and down the snowy hills. Zane ran after them, curious to see what would happen.
I was fearless.
Zane thought. Memory Zane slid down another hill on his snowboard and sped right toward a cliff. Zane gasped.
What was my younger self thinking?
Then, Memory Zane did a backflip on his snowboard right at the edge of the cliff. He landed safely a few yards back, and the giant tree horn tumbled right over the edge.
Yes! Ha ha!
Memory Zane cheered. He made sure the beast was not coming back. Then he tucked the snowboard under his arm and ran back to check on the father and daughter.
Thank you so much, young man.
The father said.
You saved us from that tree horn.
Well, happy to offer my assistance.
Memory Zane replied. Zane watched his younger self, stunned.
This boy has no memory of his past.
He thought.
But he loves the cold and the ice. He protects those who need protection. Even without my memories, I was still Zane.
The scene began to swirl yet again, and Zane felt a pang of sadness as he watched his smiling younger self disappear. Then he tensed. What new memory would he be visiting now? The scene came together before his eyes. A throne room in a sinister place made of cold gray stone. A tall stone staircase led to a platform holding the throne. Seated in it was a man with armor, with ice-cold gleaming eyes, a hideous mask over his mouth, and holding a staff, covered with ice crystals that glowed with the power of the scroll of forbidden spinjitzu, the Ice Emperor.
The Ice Emperor! Pixel, get me out of this memory!
Zane yelled. Chapter 5, Forgiveness. The static sounded like a buzzing of 1,000 bees as Pixel pulled Zane from the memory and the Ice Emperor's throne room disappeared. Zane's body lurched as he found himself back at the bottom of the frozen lake. He quickly swam up and broke through the ice. Then he hurried to the ninja cave.
Welcome back, Zane.
Pixel said.
I'm quite surprised that the memory program launched remotely. The activation model's sensory circuit has shown no errors. I'll have to double-check the sub-beta algorithms again. I'm glad, however, that we were still able to communicate. Tell me, what happened to that last memory that made you want to leave?
I must confess something.
Zane began.
I am reluctant to face myself as the Ice Emperor.
The Ice Emperor can't hurt you inside a memory.
She reminded him.
No, that is not it.
He said.
I am not worried that the Ice Emperor will hurt me. It's difficult to describe, but I think it has something to do with the terrible things I did when I was the Ice Emperor. That is not something I allow myself to think about often.
Pixel's eyes flashed with sympathy.
Oh, Zane.
The Ice Emperor was cruel and merciless.
Zane said.
I would never do any of the things he did. How could the Ice Emperor be so unlike me? I should have been able to stop myself. How can I ever forgive myself?
I know that whatever happened to you in the Netherrealm was not your fault.
Pixel told him.
But I also know that you must figure this out on your own.
Zane gazed over at the computer screen.
I cannot. I am too afraid.
You have faced your fears before, Zane.
Pixel reminded him.
And I believe that is what you must do now.
Zane nodded and slowly sat back in the chair, Pixel returning to the computer.
I should be able to send you directly to a memory in the Netherrealm. Are you ready?
She said. Zane nods.
Initiating memory exploration in 3, 2, 1.
Zane felt himself falling yet again. Suddenly, he was back in the throne room of the Ice Emperor. A menacing figure entered the room next to him. Cold eyes glared beneath his gray, armored helmet. Blue ice crystals clung to his long mustache, and an armored vest clanked as he moved. He stopped at the bottom of the stairs.
General Vex.
Zane remembered.
Yes, my Emperor.
General Vex said.
How dare you disturb my thoughts?
The Ice Emperor growled.
I bring a warning, my Emperor.
Vex said.
Strangers from a distant realm have come to challenge you. They may be here for prisoner, and to defy your rule.
Zane heard the crackling of ice as the Ice Emperor rose from his throne.
They must be punished,
the Ice Emperor ordered. General Vex leaned in.
They must be destroyed. Show them your might. Show them what happens to those who defy the Emperor.
Send my blizzard samurai,
the Ice Emperor said.
Command them to destroy the strangers.
And all who aid him.
Vex added.
And all who aid them.
The Ice Emperor repeated. Vex chuckled and left the throne room. The Ice Emperor sat back down. Rage filled Zane. He marched up the stairs to the throne.
Why do you listen to him?
Zane yelled.
These are lives you are destroying! Innocent lives! How can you do this?
The Ice Emperor's eyes flashed.
Who dares to disturb my thoughts now?
It is me, Zane. Wait. You can hear me?
Zane asked.
Intruder!
The Ice Emperor yelled, and he stood up once more. He pointed his staff right at Zane.
He can see and hear me.
Zane thought.
How is this even possible?
The Ice Emperor shot a powerful beam of white light at Zane. Zane jumped off the staircase, and the beam left a string of sharp ice shards where he had just been standing. Zane heard Pixel's voice inside his head.
Zane, there's some kind of glitch happening,
she said, and her voice sounded worried.
You've left your memory banks, and it appears you have entered your subconscious circuits. Because these are your thoughts, you can interact with them. Do you want me to try to extract you?
No, Pixel.
Zane replied.
I must see this through.
You cannot escape me.
The Ice Emperor growled, and he shot another powerful blast from his staff. Zane rolled out of the way.
I must get the staff away from him,
Zane thought.
Then maybe I can talk to him. I can figure out how he's able to do such terrible things. Ninjago!
Zane whirled toward the Ice Emperor, dodging another icy blast from his staff. But before he could make contact with the Ice Emperor, he waved the staff in a circle around him and put up an icy wall of defense.
Are you afraid of me, then?
Zane asked.
I fear nothing!
The Ice Emperor growled, and the ice wall around him had shattered. He pointed the staff at Zane, who tried to jump out of the way. But the ice from the blast surrounded his legs, pinning him to the ground. The Ice Emperor stomped toward him.
I will finish you now.
Why?
Zane asked.
Why are you so cruel? How could you let this happen to you? Why weren't you strong enough to resist?
The Ice Emperor paused, and his cold eyes flashed.
I was reprogrammed,
he answered. Static crackled. The memory blurred, and Zane felt himself falling. He saw his younger self next to his crashed mech. Pixel's voice crackled in his head.
Zane, you've returned to your memory circuits, but the glitch could return at any time.
Zane watched as Vex tiptoed up behind Memory Zane, who was plugged into his mech system, trying to fix it. Suddenly, Memory Zane's eyes went blank as Vex sneakily pulled out the plug.
Rebooting.
The computer voice intoned.
All systems online. Memory cache is empty.
Vex gave an evil chuckle as the lights came back on in the Ninjroid's eyes.
Who are you?
Memory Zane asked.
I am Vex, your loyal advisor.
And who am I?
The Ninjroid asked. Zane watched and listened to the memory. Vex told Memory Zane lie after lie. He convinced Memory Zane that he was the Ice Emperor, whose throne had been stolen from him. Then he handed the Ninjroid the staff powered by the scroll of forbidden spinjitzu, and the staff's evil energy coursed through Memory Zane's body.
No!
Zane cried out. The memory disappeared, and Zane fell into a new one. The scene disappeared, and Zane entered a new memory. The Ice Emperor sat on his throne, but he was not yet old and covered in stone armor. His body coursed with the blue energy of the scroll of forbidden spinjitzu. General Vex approached the throne.
My Emperor, there is a village in your kingdom that refuses to honor you with an offering of fish. We must teach them a lesson and destroy their village.
The Ice Emperor's eyes flickered.
Destroy a village.
Over fish? He's trying to resist.
Zane thought as he watched the memory unfold.
They defy you, my lord.
Vex said.
It will begin with fish and end with your doom. Do you want that?
The power of forbidden spinjitzu flared from the top of the Emperor's head, responding to Vex's words.
Destroy the village, then.
The Ice Emperor said calmly.
No!
Zane yelled, but the Ice Emperor could not hear him.
This is not you! You protect others! You do not harm them!
Static erased the scene, and Zane lurched into a new memory, one familiar to him. The Ice Emperor was about to finish off Lloyd at Vex's urging, but seeing Lloyd, hearing his true name, Zane, and listening to Vex use the word protect, triggered something deep inside him.
Protect those who cannot protect themselves,
the Ice Emperor said. Those words restored all of the memories that had been erased, and, at the same time, the spell was broken. The Ice Emperor transformed back into Zane and cast off the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu. Zane watched the memory unfold before him, amazed.
I was fighting Vex the whole time.
Zane thought.
Even with my memory wiped. But the power of the scroll of Forbidden Spinjitzu was just too strong. Evil was imposed on me. Even when I was not Zane, I was still Zane. It was not my fault.
Pixel's voice interrupted his thoughts.
Zane, the program is glitching again. Be careful.
Zane fell back into the throne room, back to his first meeting with the Ice Emperor. Zane was once again pinned to the floor by ice, and the Ice Emperor stood over him, ready to finish him off.
Zane, you have returned to your subconscious.
Pixel told him.
Remember, this is not a memory. This is you, fighting yourself.
A fleeing of calmness flowed through Zane. He knew what he was supposed to do.
I know what I must do.
Zane stared into the Ice Emperor's cruel eyes.
I forgive you,
Zane said. At the words, icy blue light swept through Zane's body. He felt the elemental power of ice surge through his being. The ice shards pinning him to the floor, shattered as he jumped to his feet.
You cannot hurt me anymore. Me or anyone else,
Zane cried. Thrusting his arms forward, he hurled a blast of ice at the Ice Emperor's right arm. The blast knocked the staff of Forbidden Spinjitzu from his hand. It clattered to the floor. The Ice Emperor growled, and then stopped. He took off his helmet. His cold, hard face transformed back into the face of the Titanium Ninja. Finally, he was his old self yet again.
I think we are done here,
he told Zane.
I think so too,
Zane said.
Pixel, I am ready to return.
A blinding white light filled the throne room, and in the next instant, Zane's eyes fluttered open in the Samurai X cave.
Zane!
Pixel cried. She hurried to him and began to detach the sensors.
That glitch was very helpful,
Zane said.
I found the answer I was looking for in my subconsciousness when I was forced to battle myself. Look!
He held out his hands, and in seconds, an ice sculpture of Pixel appeared on the floor in front of her. She smiled.
I take it the experiment was a success then.
It was,
Zane replied.
My elemental power of ice has returned. I discovered that I needed to forgive myself. I could not move forward without accepting my past.
I'm glad it worked, but I'm afraid that it would be too dangerous to share this program with the others.
Pixel said.
I am sure that Cole, Jay, and Kai will find their own ways to regain their powers,
Zane replied.
We may all have different lessons to learn. But one thing that we all know is that a ninja never quits.
J. Chapter 1, The Getaway.
Welcome to paradise,
Nia said gleefully, setting down her bag. The plush hotel room's furniture was overstuffed, the carpeting thick and the towels soft. And she was sure that Jay's room next door was just as nice.
I love this new resort already, and hardly anyone's even heard about this island. No video games, no television, an all-you-can-eat buffet at every meal? Just peace and quiet.
Getting no response, she turned to see Jay staring out the glass door to the balcony. Past that, there was nothing but lush jungle. He hadn't even dropped his backpack yet.
Jay?
She said. He still didn't turn around.
Jay!
Huh?
He jumped, startled, and smiled weakly.
Sorry, Nia.
He said.
I was somewhere else.
Well, hurry up and get here.
Nia replied. She sat on a bed and bounced on it a little to see how comfortable it was. Jay walked over stiffly and sat down.
Come on, Jay. We thought this would be an amazing vacation for us after the fight with the Crystal King. Aside from other guests, we're literally as far as we could possibly get from everything.
I know.
Jay said, sounding a little guilty.
And it really is beautiful.
So it should be a perfect time for us to relax, rest up, and adjust, right?
Nia asked gently.
You're right. I'm sorry, Nia.
He said again.
I just feel like I'm missing a piece of myself.
Nia stood up, nodding with understanding.
Well, yeah. You're missing the powers you had as Master of Lightning.
Jay stood, too, and walked back to the balcony doors.
The way I'm feeling is like when I think about my birth mom giving me up to the Walkers for adoption. I love Ed and Edna. They are my real parents. But I'm always gonna have this hole inside where my real mother should be.
Hey, getting used to changes in your life will take a while. And that's okay.
Nia said.
I just want you to get back to being you know? You haven't cracked a single bad joke since we left the monastery.
He turned around, an exaggerated look of hurt now on his face.
Wait, my jokes are bad?
Nia smiled and gave him a playful punch on the arm.
That's more like it. Why don't you take a walk around, explore, and try not to think about your birth mom, or your powers, or anything. When you come back, we'll hit that buffet.
Jay looked dubious.
Walk around?
He gestured to the dense foliage outside their room.
Outside?
You don't have to walk into the jungle, city boy. The beach is on the opposite side of the resort. Stay on the hotel grounds and you'll be fine.
Nia reassured him as he walked toward the door. She added,
But come back, alright? Don't run off to some lighthouse, paint really bad paintings, and become a hermit again.
Don't worry. Been there, done that.
Jay answered, smiling. Then his face took on a comically hurt expression yet again.
Wait, my paintings were bad?
Nia laughed, relieved that Jay's sense of humor, at least, seemed to be coming back. However, quite slowly.
Get lost.
She told him with mock sternness. Jay smiled and walked out. Chapter 2, Lost and Found.
I'm hopelessly lost,
Jay said 5 minutes later, standing in the jungle. He'd been walking the path around the resort's swimming pool, where kids frolicked and a man played steel drums. The next thing Jay knew, the pool was nowhere to be seen, and the jungle had surrounded him. It was Jay's own fault, really. The walk hadn't cleared his mind at all. He couldn't stop thinking about how similar it felt to not have his powers and to not know the reason his mother, from whom he'd inherited those powers, gave him up.
Guess they're both about loss. I'll never get either one back,
he thought. Jay paused and strained his ears, trying to hear some sound that could lead him back to the hotel. But sadly, there was nothing. No children splashing in the pool. No tropical music from the steel drum player. there was no way he could contact Nia or the hotel. Jay found himself turning in a circle.
All these plants look alike.
He moaned, then he gulped.
I wonder if venomous frogs are hiding under them, just waiting to pounce on me and make me part of their all-they-can-eat buffet. How embarrassing would that be? Surviving the Crystal King can only be taken out by a toad with a rumbly tummy.
He took a deep breath.
It's okay, Jay.
He told himself.
Your imagination is just running with you. You can't be that far from the hotel. And you haven't been walking that long. It only seems like forever. You'll just look up, see where the sun is, and you'll know what time it is and what direction you're heading in.
Jay looked up through the canopy of leaves overhead, but the leaves were all he could see. He groaned, then realized something.
You know you're on an island. If you walk in a straight line, sooner or later you'll come to a coastline, and you'll just follow around the island till you reach the hotel. And you won't think about hungry ninja eating frogs.
Jay nodded confidently to himself and started walking. Nothing bad was going to happen.
This is bad,
Jay said 5 minutes later, finding himself trapped in a thicket of thorn bushes, and the 4 minutes before that hadn't been that great either. Jay had stepped on a pile of fallen leaves and found they covered a deep hole with slick, muddy sides that proved tricky to crawl out of.
Ow!
He'd walked through a cloud of gnats, stung him approximately 4 million times, give or take, and he'd surprised 2 wild boars with very sharp tusks, who had then chased him into the thorn bushes.
Okay,
He mused.
at least the boars are gone. Now the key is to stay calm.
Jay stayed calm for about 3 seconds, and then thrashed like mad, only to become more and more entangled. Finally, he stopped, breathing hard.
I think I'll take a nice walk.
He sneered, exaggerating his own voice.
Maybe it'll help clear my head. That's the last time I listened to myself.
But then he heard something, or someone, approaching.
Are those footsteps?
He wondered aloud, then frowned.
I hope they're not boar hoof steps.
Then he heard the sound again. Definitely footsteps.
Help!
He cried out.
Over here!
Jay heard the footsteps coming closer, speeding up now.
That's it! This way!
Jay urged. A moment later, he heard someone hacking through thick vines, and thanks to his imagination running wild once more, he suddenly worried that he'd stumbled into a territory of a fiendish fugitive who'd been hiding on this remote island with nothing but a large machete for company. But finally, the last branches between Jay and his rescuer were removed, and Jay found himself staring into the face of, not a bloodthirsty criminal, but
Unagami!
the formerly threatening artificial intelligence from the Prime Empire video game. Now in the form of a young boy, folded up the walking stick he'd been using to clear brush and put it in his kid's backpack, which was decorated with starfighters and big-headed aliens.
Hi, Jay!
Unagami said, waving at Jay cheerfully.
Wow! How crazy is it that we're both here on the same island, in the same jungle, face to face?
I promise to try to figure that out after you help me get all these thorns.
Jay grunted. As Unagami removed snag branches from Jay's sleeves, he looked at the boy with confusion.
What are you doing here anyway?
Well...
Unagami began.
Since you last saw me...
When you looked totally different and were the vengeful ruler of Prime Empire, trying to destroy me and my friends.
Jay reminded him.
That's true.
Unagami agreed sheepishly.
But I've grown up a lot since then.
Jay raised an eyebrow. Either Unagami ignored him or he simply didn't notice.
Anyway, I've been spending a lot of time with my father, the man who created me, Milton Dyer. We've been getting to know each other and becoming a family. I've never felt so happy, so complete.
Good for you.
Jay growled, remembering his own situation.
But I've also been developing a new game that happens in a hidden city, in a jungle, on a remote island,
said Unagami, smiling proudly.
I'm here doing research. There are rumors of a city like that right here on this island. Do you want to help me look for it?
I guess it's better than getting lost again trying to find my way back to the hotel.
Jay grumbled.
What did you say?
Unagami asked.
Nothing.
Jay answered quickly. He knew Nia would be starting to wonder where he was. But finding a lost city sounded like a lot of fun. Certainly more than thinking about his inner emptiness.
I'd love to help you look,
he told Unagami.
Thanks.
Awesome!
Unagami exclaimed.
Before we get going, I just want to call my dad and tell him I ran into you. He'll be so surprised.
Jay watched as Unagami took a tablet device from his backpack and turned it on. An icon of the boy's face appeared, blinking as it booted up.
I call this the Unaga Meeting Pad. It makes calls from anywhere to anywhere else, and it's powered by our planet's magnetic field. I invented it yesterday. Pretty awesome, right?
Gee.
Jay replied sarcastically.
Getting to know your dad? Creating a new game? Revolutionizing communications? What are you doing in your spare time, Unagami? Figuring out why the chicken crossed the road?
No.
Unagami replied, dialing.
I started to, but then I realized it wasn't any of my business.
Jay thought about that, then had to nod. It was a good answer. A moment later, the holographic face of Milton Dyer appeared.
Hi, Dad. It's so good to see you. You'll never guess who I'm with right now.
So much for not thinking about my inner emptiness.
Jay thought gloomily. Chapter 3. Buried Treasure. After walking for 2 hours, following a blurry, torn map that a whistling Unagami had produced from his backpack, he and Jay were back in the exact same spot where Unagami had rescued the former Master of Lightning. At least, that's what it looked like to Jay, who had enough and stopped in his tracks.
Okay, I'm tired, I'm hungry, I'm itchy, I'm sweaty,
he told Unagami.
And you've been whistling the same song over and over!
I know!
Unagami replied happily.
Isn't it awesome?
A coconut fell from a tree somewhere above, thudding heavily at Jay's feet, narrowly missing his head. Jay retrieved the coconut and held it up for Unagami to see.
And I've almost been beaten by 16 coconuts!
He was also tired of reliving in his mind how he'd lost his powers, or how he'd learned that his birth mother had given him up for adoption, though Jay didn't mention any of that. Oh, and Unagami had made 3 more phone calls to Milton Dyer, just to say hello.
Are we getting any closer to this lost city of yours?
Jay asked crankily.
My feet feel like we've already walked 1,000,000 miles.
The coconut might help with your hunger issues, and we've actually traveled 1.5 miles from where we started.
Unagami informed him, looking at his digital watch.
And the journey can be as fun as the discovery.
Ah, you're just a kid,
Jay muttered.
What do you know?
I'm a kid, with an IQ in the tens of thousands.
Unagami pointed out. Then he asked, out of genuine curiosity.
Do you know what yours is?
Jay, who did know his IQ, which was several tens of thousands lower than Unagami's, changed the subject very quickly.
Let's keep going,
he said.
And see if this journey gets any more fun.
Unagami startled Jay by leaping toward him and bouncing his chest against Jay's.
Yes, that's the spirit. Wow, I'm sure having an awesome time hanging out with you.
Yeah, awesome,
Jay said in response. But he couldn't help but smile as he started walking again. Unagami was a pesky and annoying know-it-all, but Jay found himself starting to like the kid, nonetheless. It was hard to think of him as the terrible enemy he'd been not long before. Then, Unagami had been terribly unhappy, and was taking that unhappiness out on everyone and everything around him. but now he seemed positive and optimistic. Something inside him really had changed, and apparently for good. Unagami turned the map in his hand and peered at it.
According to our map, the last landmark we need to see before finding the lost city is an unusual rock formation.
He showed Jay the map and the sketch on it of a stone shaped like a lightning bolt, a sharp diagonal interrupted by a horizontal middle. It appeared covered with greenery. Jay had never seen anything like it before.
Well, something like that shouldn't be too hard to spot,
he said, looking up, trying to see a break in the trees above.
There's gotta be some big mountains on this island with huge boulders, right? Where we can get a better view?
Keeping his eyes trained on the jungle canopy, Jay started to walk back into the overgrowth.
Be careful!
Unagami urged, hurrying to keep up with him.
The jungle can be dangerous.
What do you know? You're just a kid.
Jay repeated, then tripped over a vine and fell hard on his face.
Jay, are you alright?
I'm fine,
he muttered.
Just wondering why lost cities are always in jungles and not in places I'm familiar with, like city parks.
Unagami tapped his chin, thinking.
I guess it would be because a lost city would likely be discovered if it were in a developed area. Like a...
lightning bolt!
Jay explained suddenly.
No, lightning bolts aren't developed, Jay.
Unagami said patiently.
I think that's pretty obvious.
Lightning bolt! Look!
Unagami looked down and saw Jay staring at a rock the size of a shoe. It was a diagonal rock jammed into the dirt at its narrowest point. But a horizontal plane interrupted it halfway down, just like in the sketch on Unagami's map.
Yes! You found it, Jay!
Unagami enthused, slapping him on the back and sending him sprawling face first into the dirt once more. Unagami looked the rock over and noticed that the half of it that caught any sunlight at all was greenish in hue. Unagami gasped.
And look! It's covered in moss!
Huh.
Jay said as he sat up, rubbing his chin.
Well, now that we found it, what next?
Unagami turned the map over, but it was blank on the other side.
I don't know. This was the last of my reference material on the hidden city's location. Maybe we could walk in the direction it's pointing?
The boy started walking the way the top of the rock was indicating, but Jay stopped him.
Hang on. I bet you're gonna want this as a souvenir,
he said, yanking the rock out of the ground. As soon as he did, there was a loud rumbling noise, and the ground began to shake.
What is it?
He shrieked.
A tidal wave? A tsunami?
No!
Unagami shouted in response.
And those are the same thing! Look!
He pointed at the ground. At the precise spot where the point of the rock had been, a long, straight crack formed in the earth, and then the ground pulled back just wide enough that they could see stone stairs descending into the darkness. When it was fully open, the rumbling and shaking ceased.
You were right again, Jay. The rock was pointing to the hidden city. Only it was pointing down, not up.
Jay smiled in wonder.
That's twice I've been looking at the sky when I should have been paying attention to what was right in front of me,
he said.
I think there's probably a lesson in that.
But he was talking to empty air. Unagami was already headed down the stairs. Still clutching the lightning bolt rock, Jay followed him. Chapter 4. Secrets in the Dark. Using a flashlight from his backpack, Unagami illuminated the long stairway as they walked, passing ancient, unused mounts for torches on the walls.
Jay, when I found you trapped in those thorns,
Unagami asked,
why hadn't you used your lightning powers to free yourself?
I don't have those powers anymore,
he admitted.
And while I'm not sure how much I miss them, I do know that I don't feel complete without them.
Yeah,
Unagami replied.
I felt the same way, until my dad and I figured some things out and started communicating better.
Well, I can't communicate with powers, so it's kind of different,
Jay pointed out.
Maybe it's not so different,
Unagami countered.
The chances of my father and I rebuilding our relationship were pretty slim. Just like you and I meeting on this island wasn't very likely. But both things happened, and nothing is truly lost forever. For example, the city we are searching for, the tribe that lived there, was long thought gone forever. And yet, we are about to find them in a way. My father always says, you should never give in to the darkness of despair when there's still a flicker of possibility.
Jay had to smile again. The kid had some good points, but he wasn't about to admit it, of course.
Oh, what do you know? You're just a kid.
He said jokingly. The stairs ended in a large, flat cave that Jay figured was some kind of meeting room, maybe to prepare for visits to the surface. A storage space had been carved into one wall, and it held wooden staffs that could be lit and used as torches. In another storage space, they found longer staffs. Spears. A clear blue stream of water ran like a tiny river through the chamber from the slightest crack under one wall, branching into all the exits ahead of them.
Cool,
Unagami noted.
They had their own water source, so all they had to gather was food.
They explored the many caves that led away from this largest one and found what they thought must be living quarters, a community dining area, and even some kind of temple. But one long tunnel halted at a dead end, a stone wall covered top to bottom with etchings and carved spaces into which properly fitted pieces had been placed.
I can't make heads or tails of this,
Jay said.
Early Ninjago language,
Unagami answered, studying them closely.
I think it's some kind of welcome mat. It was written just before the tribe left the island for whatever reason.
They didn't leave much behind,
Jay said, looking around.
That doesn't help your game idea much.
Unagami frowned.
It seems like there should be more to read about the tribe, but I don't see where.
Then he noticed something at the bottom of the wall and waved Jay over.
Jay, do you still have the rock that led us to the entrance?
Jay handed the rock to Unagami and watched him slide it into a carved-out space into the wall that was shaped just like a lightning bolt. The wall trembled as the entrance had done on the surface, and then the entire wall swung 90 degrees from its middle. There was a hiss of escaping old air as Jay and Unagami looked into an even larger chamber. In this one, there were recesses that had been carved into the walls, and they were filled with neatly rolled scrolls.
The tribe's library.
Unagami's voice was almost a whisper.
Way to go, Unagami!
Jay shouted, and the two of them, grinning, executed another chest bump. This time, they both participated.
This treasure hunting stuff is cool. I can see why people make movies about it.
I'm glad you're having fun,
Unagami said, almost shyly.
I'm glad we're doing this together.
Me too, buddy.
Jay admitted.
Buddy.
Unagami repeated.
I like that. No one's ever called me that before. I like it. It feels like something an older brother might say to a little brother.
Jay smiled in response, and he and Unagami practically tiptoed into the chamber, as if overly concerned with damaging or disturbing anything. Jay watched as Unagami delicately plucked out a scroll, unrolled it, and read it. When he was finished, he rolled it back up and replaced it, then took another. He nodded, reading, and gestured around the room.
It looks like these scrolls are grouped by subject,
Unagami said.
These have to do with food, how they found it, how they cooked it, and stuff like that. Some of the species they hunted for food have been extinct for a long time. These scrolls are thousands of years old.
Amazing!
Jay said with awe. Unagami hurried to another collection of scrolls and opened one.
These explain how the tribe raised children,
he said.
This is really interesting.
How so?
Every child born into the tribe was raised by the whole tribe, not just their mom and dad. Everyone shared equally in teaching the child and giving them all the things any parent could. Care, love, education, protection, encouragement, discipline, and acceptance.
Unagami looked up sadly.
I never had anyone to teach me those things. or show them to me when I first became self-aware.
He continued.
No wonder I was so unhappy.
His expression brightened.
It's a good thing now that my dad gives me all those things.
Jay frowned when he felt himself realizing something.
Wait, I had all those things when I was growing up. The parents who adopted me, Master Wu, the other ninja, all the friends I've made over the years. They did all those things for me that my biological parents would have.
He felt something in his chest loosening, a weight coming off his shoulders.
And it's logical to believe you have given back to them the same things.
Unagami said gently.
Because ninja sharpens ninja.
Jay went on, starting to smile.
My real mom must have known when she and my dad gave me up to the walkers that they'd made sure I always had people around me who could help me, guide me, and teach me. Powerless or not, they made sure I'd never be alone if I needed help.
Even as he said it, he could feel warmth bloom in his chest and spread throughout his body. Then he felt a powerful jolt of energy spring from his chest and out to his hands. He looked at them in wonder. They were sparkling. He could feel the hair on the back of his neck and on his arms stand up. It was a familiar feeling, and his heart began to race. He felt stronger and more alive than he'd felt in weeks. Jay felt himself smiling, and Unagami was looking at him and smiling too.
Jay, is something happening?
I think so.
Jay answered with a hint of laughter in his voice.
I think...
Suddenly, Unagami's flashlight went out, plunging the cavern into darkness.
It's just the batteries,
he assured Jay.
I'll find some more in my backpack.
Don't worry about it, buddy.
Unagami heard Jay say. Then the cavern was brilliantly lit by crackling, sizzling energy from Jay's hands.
Like I was about to say, I think my elemental power is back. I'm the master of lighting again, in full force!
But before they could celebrate, a loud rumbling cut him off, and the entire cavern started to shake violently.
And that sounds like an earthquake!
Unagami shouted above the noise.
And it's building to its full force!
Chapter 5. Nowhere to go but up.
I don't think this is a natural earthquake.
Unagami answered, trying to keep his balance.
I think the tribe may have put in some kind of trap to deal with ruin robbers.
But we're not robbing the tribe!
Jay protested. Then he realized.
Of course. They don't know that.
We'd better... Oh!
Unagami said as a section of the cave's ceiling came loose and struck him on the head. He fell to the ground, limp. More rocks continued to rain down around them.
Hang on, buddy!
Jay said, shutting off the power in one of his hands and scooping up Unagami with it. Then he ran with his friend back to the main chamber, using his powered-up hand to blast away falling debris. Jay saw the stones were getting larger. It wouldn't be long before the cavern was filled. And hopefully, not while Jay and Unagami were in it. Jay started up the stairs, and as he did, he remembered just how many stairs there actually were. But all he could do was run up the steps toward distant daylight, firing lightning bolts that smashed into large rocks, that then burst into smaller rocks, then quickly blasting those rocks before they could injure him or Unagami. It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. Jay had to keep track of all the falling stones while also maintaining his balance on the stairway, since there was no railing to keep him from falling off the side and taking the long, long drop back into the rock-choked caverns of the tribe. He slipped once or twice, coming perilously close to falling, and small rocks, some slightly bigger than small, that he hadn't been able to blast, pelted him. But he was almost to the surface. He and Unagami were 2 steps from safety when a massive slab of stone broke loose from the stairway ceiling and fell toward them at high speed. Hoping he had enough of a charge left from his lightning powers for a couple large last blasts, he smashed the slab in 2 with one bolt, then pulverized every single piece of debris with a few more. He dashed up the last few steps and collapsed with Unagami in the small clearing. Behind him, he heard a terrible final roar, and when he turned back around, he saw that the entrance to the city was closed. Forever. Jay exhaled deeply and realized he could still feel his elemental power surging through him. He swore to himself that he'd never let go of his true potential again.
Jay?
He heard a weak voice behind him and turned to see Unagami sitting up, blinking.
What happened?
We overstayed our welcome,
Jay replied, pointing to the rock-filled pit that had been in the stairway.
But I followed your advice. I saw a flicker of possibility, so I didn't give in to the darkness. Turns out, even though you're a kid, you do know a few things. Anyways, I think you should have more than enough material for your game. Are you okay?
I think so.
He looked at Jay with delighted astonishment.
You saved me! Just like one brother would do for another. We formed a bond, like I have with my dad. That makes us family!
He scampered over and embraced a startled Jay tightly. Jay was touched, and his voice broke a little when he jokingly replied.
Aw, you're just a kid. What do you know?
Did I interrupt something?
Nia asked, stepping from the clearing from the jungle wearing an amused smile. Unagami, in mid-hug, turned to beam at her.
Jay and I are brothers!
Huh?
Nia became very confused when she realized it was Unagami who was hugging Jay. Jay stood, gently separating himself from Unagami. But Unagami wouldn't let go of his hand. Somehow, though, Jay didn't really mind.
It's a long story. Oh, but it ends with me getting my elemental powers back. And feeling a whole lot better about my family.
He smiled down at Unagami.
Biological and extended.
That's great.
Nia said, still perplexed but thrilled for Jay.
I'm glad to see you,
he said.
How did you find me anyway?
Nia smiled shyly as she reached around to pluck something off the back of his belt. Then she wiggled a small device in front of his eyes.
I planted this little tracker on you when I hugged you goodbye,
she said.
I knew you had some things to work out. But I also knew you'd get lost the minute you walked out that door. Your sense of direction is really horrible. The hotel is just back that way. Not very far.
We all saved each other.
Unagami cried, turning to Nia.
Now we're all family. Brother, and sister. Welcome to the family, Nia.
Nia smiled, still puzzled but happy.
Thank you,
she said.
It's an honor.
This is great!
Unagami exclaimed, taking Nia's hand.
My family is growing every day!
As they walked towards the bush, Jay looked over Unagami's head at Nia.
Wait, is my sense of direction really that bad?
Nia smiled warmly in response.
It's nice to have you back.
Cole. Chapter 1. Down on the Farm. Carrying his suitcase, a dark-haired man with a neatly trimmed mustache walked across the rural road to the gate of a small farm. An older woman in overalls and a straw hat was using a hoe to break up soil.
Excuse me,
the man said.
I was wondering if you've seen my son? Cole, bushy eyebrows, great big head of hair.
Yep,
the woman drawled.
He's over yonder, trying to get Henry to plow out the big field.
She turned and pointed past the rice paddies that ran across the side of the farm to the large field behind the farmhouse. The man could see Cole straining to coax a fat yak into pulling a metal plow.
You got yourself a good boy,
the woman said.
We ain't sure who's more stubborn, Cole or Henry.
The man smiled.
That does sound like Cole.
As she walked the man over, she noticed his suitcase was covered with stickers bearing city names.
You one of them traveling performers?
Yes,
he replied, smiling proudly.
I'm a part of a song and dance group called the Royal Blacksmith. You may have heard of us. We've won the Blade Cup several times.
Nope. Never heard of y'all.
She answered.
We don't have time for performers out here. Crops don't take a night off. So we don't. Either. My name's Sally Bob, by the way.
I'm Lou. Pleased to meet you.
The man said. As they drew closer, Lou watched Cole plant his hands on the yak's rear end and push as hard as he could, his feet slipping in mud. Henry seemed happy where he was. Lou also saw that Cole had a bandage around his head and bruises on his arms, like he'd been in a fight. But Lou didn't know how that would be possible, since losing his power as Master of Earth in the battle against the Crystal King, Cole hadn't been in any fights that Lou knew about. Cole's feet finally slid out from under him completely, and he plopped face first into the mud. Henry grunted.
Looking good, son.
Lou said cheerfully. Cole looked up, wiping mud from his eyes, and broke into a huge smile.
Dad!
He cried, leaping up to hug his father, and getting mud all over Lou's suit.
How did you find me?
Lou squeezed his son back.
You wrote Master Wu a letter, remember?
Lou said.
To tell him where you'd be in case he ever needed you. It's been a while since we last saw each other. So I took a little break from our tour to come and see you, if that's alright. Losing your powers as the Master of Earth can't have been easy.
Sally Bob turned to amble back to her field.
I'll leave you to your hugging,
she said.
Crops don't hug, and neither do we. You're welcome to stay in that barn with your boy, as long as you like,
she told Lou.
Thank you.
Lou called back, waving. Then he noticed the mud all over his suit. He chuckled and started to wipe it off.
Sorry about that.
Cole muttered.
It's great to see you, Dad, but I'm fine. After I left the monastery, I was pretty down, wondering what I was going to do with the rest of my life. All my friends had moved on. I was just wandering. I didn't feel anchored to anything. Then I found this farm, and I thought, Master of Earth, farming the land, it sort of made sense, so I thought I'd give it a try and see what not fighting all the time would be like. But enough about that. Come on, let's get you settled. Henry, you take a break.
The yak grunted again. Cole took his father's suitcase and led him past some small houses and toward a large barn.
And I kinda like it here. The people have treated me great, like one of their own,
he said. He waved at a farmer walking in the other direction, carrying a sack of seeds.
Hi, Bob, heading out to plant that north field?
The man smiled and nodded, continuing on, and when he was past, Cole saw that his father was confused.
No, that's Bob,
he explained to Lou.
He's Sally Bob's brother. That's one of the best things about this place. Only some of the farmers are related to each other, but they all treat each other like one big family. And they're super peaceful. I think they worship the land.
Lou gently touched one of the bruises on Cole's arm.
Looks like peaceful farming can get pretty dangerous,
he said.
Oh, that.
Cole replied with a frown.
Sally Bob's bunch has been having trouble with her neighbor, Takangi. He's a big-time farmer who owns all the land around Sally Bob's, and Sally Bob won't sell. Takangi wants all the land, though, so he sends his thugs over here every so often to try and convince her.
And you've been defending the land for the farmers?
Lou guessed.
Trying to, at least. I promised Mom I'd always stand up for others, and that means whether I have powers or not.
He sighed.
I thought being out here would be a simpler life, one where I didn't need to be a ninja. So far, that hasn't happened, but I think it will work out somehow eventually.
Lou nodded, then he looked at Cole closely.
I know you say you like it here, but do you feel... what was the word you used? Anchored here? Maybe grounded is a better term. Like this place and people give you some kind of balance in your life?
Cole shrugged.
I don't know. I feel like something's been missing since I lost my powers. And working here makes it not so bad. At least, I don't think about it as much.
Lou could hear uncertainty in Cole's voice. He knew not feeling so bad wasn't the same as being grounded. As they continued into the barn, Lou looked around. A farm was hardly the place he expected to find Cole. But if this was where his son really felt he should be, then so be it. Chapter 2: Attack of the War Tractors. Lou woke with a start, sitting up in Sally Bob's barn, hearing a groaning sound, like a heavy door opening for the first time in hundreds of years.
What's that?
He cried. Across the barn, Cole woke and wiped sleep from his eyes.
Huh? Oh, that's the farmer's rooster. It must be sunrise.
That doesn't sound like any rooster I've ever heard.
Lou replied, hurrying to the barn door and sliding it open. Instead of a rooster, he was startled to see the yak standing right before him. It licked him from chin to hairline with its sandpapery tongue. Lou yelped in surprise, jumping back.
Henry likes to pretend he's a rooster.
Cole explained, patting Henry's nose. Lou looked at the dark sky.
But it doesn't look like the sun's coming up,
he pointed out.
It's the middle of the night.
Cole stepped out of the barn with his dad and gazed at the stars. Confused.
That's weird,
he said.
The only time Henry pretends he's a rooster is when there's trouble. But I don't see any.
Before he could finish, they heard the rumbling of engines, and a moment later, 5 pairs of headlights crested a hill in the distance. The lights grew bigger and the rumbling louder as they approached the farm.
Takanagi?
Lou asked.
Yeah, stay here, Dad.
Cole implored.
You'll be safe.
Cole ran toward the headlights. Whatever Takanagi was sending their way, there were more of them than there were of Cole. Lou admired his son's bravery, but he wished he had someone or something else on his side. The other farmers stood outside their homes, watching, not making any move to get to his aid. And Cole was trying to protect them. Maybe the farmers were peaceful, but surely they could do something to help. Since it appeared they wouldn't, Lou decided he would. He ran after Cole, quickly becoming rather winded.
I'm in shape for soft shoe dancing, not sprinting,
he thought. As he got closer, he saw that the approaching vehicles were tractors, which made sense, but they weren't like normal tractors. They had been heavily modified, with metal plating along their sides. The drivers, too, wore metal plating on their overalls. They wore helmets and carried large and long pitchforks, like bizarre armored knights from some medieval tale. Lou ran up beside his son, who had stopped to make a stand before the war tractors.
Dad, I told you to wait in the barn. You're not a fighter!
Cole exclaimed.
I will do whatever I can to protect my family.
Lou replied firmly.
Family is the most important thing.
The drivers stopped their war tractors. The lead driver pointed his pitchfork handle at Cole.
Save yourself a lot more pain, kid, and convince Sally Bob to sell to Takanagi.
I've told you, this is their land, and if they don't want to sell it, they don't have to.
The lead driver turned to his partners and waved them ahead.
Do you have a plan, son?
Lou asked worriedly.
Since I don't have my powers, I'll just keep doing what I've been doing, using my spinjitzu and hoping for the best.
Cole told him. The war tractors were already almost upon them. Cole tried to spin, but didn't have enough room, and he turned right into the broom handles of 2 of the drivers. He fell, adding more bruises to his collection. 2 other drivers, grinning, circled Cole at high speed, splashing mud all over him. The 5th driver sped straight at Lou. Lou didn't quite know what to do. He didn't know any fancy fighting moves, just dance steps. Suddenly, he realized what he could do, and he smiled. Just as the war tractor reached him, Lou gracefully slid to one side. As the machine went past, Lou executed a perfect dance twirl, his foot connecting with the war tractor at the perfect time in the perfect spot. At least, that was what Lou was hoping for. But instead of knocking the heavy vehicle on its side as he had intended, Lou just bounced awkwardly off the machine and landed very ungracefully in the mud. The driver was speechless, absolutely baffled by what he had witnessed, and he couldn't take his eyes off the unfortunate dancer. He was so preoccupied with Lou's blunder, he didn't notice he was driving his vehicle off the path and straight into a ditch, until it was far too late. The war tractor suddenly fell over on its side, sending its driver into the mud, too. Cole, however, was having a lot more trouble. 3 of the other drivers wouldn't allow him a moment so he could use his spinjitzu. He concentrated on deflecting their blows instead, but the 4th driver swooped his pitchfork handle behind Cole's knees, and he fell once more. The 3 drivers broke away, rampaging their war tractors up and down the fields, running the farmers' crops. The farmers still just watched. Cole again tried to stand, but the leader pinned him to the ground with his pitchfork handle.
This was your last chance, kid. Next time, we'll get mean.
The goons all turned and drove back the way they'd come, having done enough damage for now. Lou looked at his dazed son with confusion and concern.
Cole, are you alright?
No broken bones.
Cole replied, rising unsteadily with Lou's help. He watched the thugs go, his eyes distant. Lou worried for him.
What is it, Cole?
He said. Cole didn't look back at him.
It's just, I don't know how I'm gonna do it this time,
he told his father.
I don't know how I can keep my promise to Mom.
Chapter 3. The Living Room Dance. Lou stayed up all night with Cole outside the barn, listening to his son try to come up with a plan for defeating Takanagi and his thugs, then throwing away his ideas almost as soon as he thought of them. When morning arrived, Cole was no closer to a solution.
The more I fight back against him for the farmers, the more violent he's gonna get. And with the farmers not being fighters, they could get really hurt,
he said.
But if I leave, they'll lose their land, and I'll be breaking my promise to Mom.
Suddenly, Lou had a thought.
What if we were to put on a show to distract Takanagi and his henchmen?
Okay.
Cole said slowly, asking a question he already knew the answer to.
What happens when the show's over?
Lou thought about it, then slumped.
The farmers would be right back where they started.
I know I don't have any powers, but I hate feeling powerless.
Cole said through clenched teeth, frustrated.
I bet Mom never felt this way.
He looked down.
You'd be wrong.
Lou told him. Cole looked up, surprised.
It wasn't long after I met your mother that she unlocked her true potential. She had some amazing adventures. We were young and in love, and soon we decided to tackle the biggest adventure together. Becoming parents. Lily was so excited, knowing she'd pass her powers on to you, her child.
Cole smiled. He'd never heard this story about his mother before. Other farmers, including Sally Bob, started wandering over to listen too. Lou went on.
After you were born, your mother kept going on missions. She loved helping others, but those missions became bigger and bigger. She spent more and more time away from home. I began to feel guilty, like I wasn't helping her. I questioned why she had me in her life at all. How could she need a powerless man like me?
So what did you do?
Sally Bob asked, thoroughly engrossed in the story.
Well, I knew Cole needed me.
Lou said, then turned back to his son.
I took some time off the royal blacksmiths, so I could always be around, even when your mom couldn't. And you and I had a wonderful time, playing together, singing together, dancing in the living room. One day your mother came home after a long adventure. She had saved all of Ninjago, and she was crying.
Why?
Cole asked, leaning forward.
because you'd grown so much. She felt like she hadn't been a part of any of it. She had spent time with you, but nowhere near as much as she wanted. She said she was feeling very out of balance. It was beginning to affect her during missions. She was thinking about us when fighting. And when she wasn't, she was thinking about how to be a better hero. She didn't feel grounded in either place.
She felt powerless.
Cole said quietly.
Exactly.
Lou said.
But you and I looked at each other, and it was amazing. We took her hands and started dancing with her, right there in the living room. And we laughed and we cried happy tears because we were together. Your mom knew we were okay. And she knew that we were thinking of her and loving her. And she could draw that strength from family. And I finally knew that I was helping her. I knew that she needed me because we kept her grounded. Family was the foundation of everything. She carried that for the rest of her days.
Lou smiled at his son.
We all feel powerless sometimes. So it's good to know that we can draw strength from our families if we need to.
Wow. Thanks for telling me that, Dad. I wish she was here right now. It's awesome that you're here, but I could really use all the strength I can get against Takangi, especially since Sally Bob and her friends aren't fighters.
Says who?
Sally Bob asked indignantly.
Huh?
Cole said, both surprised and confused.
I just assumed, because you never try to help me when Takangi's thugs come.
Sally Bob scowled at him.
You never asked. You just came in here and you told us to stay back, that you'd handle it, so we did.
Cole squeezed his eyes shut, embarrassed.
You're kidding!
He exclaimed.
Crops don't kid, so we don't, either.
Sally Bob informed him.
But we will learn how to fight to defend our land if you show us how.
Optimism and excitement surged through Cole.
Let's get started!
He shouted.
Not just yet,
Sally Bob said, leaning down and squinting at him.
One more thing you need to know, fella. The minute you plant your first seed here, you become part of our family too.
Cole smiled gratefully. So did his father.
Yes, ma'am.
Cole replied. Chapter 4. The Battle of Sally Bob's Farm. The rest of that day and the early part of the evening were spent on training. Cole gave the farmers a crash course in farm defense, using whatever was at hand for makeshift weapons. He held tryouts to see who could throw a corn cob the farthest and the hardest. Sally Bob had a surprisingly good arm. He instructed the farmers how to use the hose and combat staves in case the struggle became hand-to-hand. That went fine, although the farmers, with shorter attention spans, kept wandering off to dig furrows that could be used later for planting. Cole cleverly redirected their efforts so that they were digging deep trenches in which to hide, or trap Takanagi's war tractors. Together, they all pitched in to tear down the barn, repurposing its wooden planks and tools to construct primitive catapults that were nonetheless capable of launching hay bales several hundred feet. Lou participated in the training as well, hoping maybe he could learn a little something that, if not useful for fighting, might come in handy as perhaps a dance move. When the training was over, Cole knew it wouldn't be enough to stop Takanagi and his men. The farmers simply didn't have enough firepower to hold out against the invaders. But he hoped desperately that if Sally Bob and the others could stand strong enough and maybe get in a few licks on Takanagi, he, like most bullies, might decide they were too much trouble and leave them alone.
Are you ready?
Lou asked quietly, after all the preparations have been made. He and Cole crouched behind Sally Bob's house in the last light of the day. The other farmers hid behind their own homes or crouched in newly dug trenches. Sally Bob was with her neighbor behind his house.
I think so, but can I tell you something strange?
Cole answered finally.
You can tell me anything.
Lou replied.
I feel more like the way I was. More like myself than I have since I lost my powers. You know how you were talking about being grounded? I think that's kind of how I feel. Maybe not by the specific place, but by these people. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Lou told him. Cole sighed.
I just hope all this work today wasn't for nothing. I mean, we don't even know if Takangi is coming tonight.
Lou looked behind the farm's property line and pointed.
I don't think you have to worry about that,
he said. The headlights were back at the top of the hill, and Cole could make out the war tractor's silhouettes. One man stepped in behind two of the war tractors. His armor was different from the others. He spoke into a megaphone.
This is Takanagi. I do not appreciate having to be here, but I wanted you to see the face of the man who will seize your land. With my control of this whole region, everyone will come to me for their vegetables, and I will make them pay whatever I want. Do not resist my forces. I have another weapon besides these. I do not wish to use it. It is even more horrible and destructive.
He paused, running through a mental checklist.
Okay, I think that is everything. Here we come.
The war tractors began moving down the hill.
Just the way you thought they'd do this,
Lou said to Cole, who nodded. Takanagi's forces approached a seemingly flat patch of land leading to Sally Bob's farm. But when they tried to cross it, the planks dusted with cut grass, disguising the empty trench behind, gave way. With a loud whoomph, the war tractors fell nose first, throwing their drivers forward to land on the trench's bottom. There was a cheer from behind the other houses as the farmers realized that their defense strategy had worked. But the drivers clumsily scaled the trench in their heavy armor, leaving behind their war tractors and lumbering forward on foot. Cole waved his hand to signal the farmers, who stepped out of hiding and began hurling their projectiles. Corn cobs, head of bok choy, and potatoes they had grown. Many, thankfully, missed their mark, but thanks to their armor, the thugs were too heavy to dodge others, most of which were thrown by Sally Bob. None did any real damage, but several of the goons overbalanced and fell on impact. They would get up, only to be knocked down yet again. Cole could see them looking at each other with confusion and even fear. What else could the farmers have back there to use against them? After their fifth failed attempt to advance, the exhausted goons chose to turn and run back the way they'd come. But before the farmers could celebrate, there was another, louder roar from the top of the hill. Everyone turned, and to their horror, they saw an even larger armored vehicle. This time, a massive harvester, rumbling toward them. Suddenly, it belched a plume of flame.
I don't think the corn cobs are gonna do too much against that,
Sally Bob said worriedly as the war harvester growled across the fields, coming straight for where the group was standing.
That's why we have the catapults,
Cole replied grimly.
Get ready to launch!
The farmers ran to their positions by the catapults, which were already loaded with hay bales, and let fly. The projectiles arched toward the war thresher, but they either smashed harmlessly against its sides, or they were incinerated by jets of flame. The war thresher continued its slow advance as Cole, Lou, and the farmers watched. Cole could feel the eyes of the farmers and his father on him, waiting for his orders. There was only one left he could think to give that might do any good. He turned to them.
I don't want any of you to get hurt. I'll hold off Takangi as long as I can while you get to safety. Run!
Not giving them a chance to protest, Cole turned back around and started marching toward the oncoming war thresher. He had no idea what he was going to do. But then, out of the corner of his eyes, he could see Sally Bob, the farmers, and even Lou walking with him.
What are you doing? I told you to run!
He asked in panic.
Props don't run, and neither do we.
Sally Bob growled in response.
We stand up for our land like the family we are.
They kept marching. Whatever they would do, they'd do it together. The final terrible resolution seemed inevitable. Until the last member of the farm family took matters into his own hooves. Henry the Yak lumbered in front of the farmers and into the path of the harvester, then simply stood there. The harvester paused, as if unsure what to do.
We need a distraction to get Takangi away from Henry before the thresher turns him into a steak,
Lou said. He grabbed up 3 leftover potatoes and ran across the field.
Dad, don't!
Cole yelled, running after him. But Lou ran to a spot about 50 feet to Henry's left and started dancing the fanciest soft shoe he knew while juggling the potatoes. He spun, he twirled, he leapt. In the war harvester, Takanagi sat mesmerized by the impromptu performance. Who was this fool defending a stubborn yak? Then he remembered why he was there. Angry at himself, he pushed the button to restart the flamethrower and turned it toward the royal blacksmith.
I guess there shall be no curtain call,
Lou thought, bracing himself. Just before the flamethrower could turn him into ash, however, Cole tackled his father, pushing him out of the way. The flame jet roared over their heads.
That was a crazy move, Dad,
he said, impressed by his father's bravery.
A good performer knows how to improvise.
Lou gasped, out of breath. They heard the war thresher rumble past them and past Henry, again thundering toward the farm. And the farmers, who stood fearlessly as the very last line of defense.
Move!
Cole yelled desperately, waving his arms in hopes of getting the farmers' attention.
Get away from there! People, come on! You're going to get hurt!
But if the farmers had heard him, they showed no sign. They did not turn and run. Instead, they planted their feet firmly and did something unexpected. They joined hands. When Cole saw this, he was amazed. And then he felt a strange surge within him. Adrenaline. But there was also something more. Something powerful. And oddly familiar. When Cole saw the farmers standing together and supporting each other, he mustered the emotional strength he'd lost during the fight with the Crystal King. Energy shot through his limbs, and his heart thrummed in his chest. Pointing his hands toward the war harvester and smiling, he wondered if he'd regained anything he had lost. But he was pretty sure he already knew the answer. Just as power coursed in his veins like lava ready to explode from a volcano, a column of rock erupted beneath the war harvester, flipping it into the air and sending it flying away from the farmers. His confidence soaring, Cole gestured just as the war harvester landed. Before Takanagi could take any action, another earthen pillar sent the vehicle flying backward once more, then again and again until it disappeared over the hill. The farmers celebrated, jumping up and down, whooping and hollering. Lou hugged his son.
Your powers! They're back. You restored your balance and unlocked your true potential again. How did you do that?
You did it, Dad. By telling me that story about Mom and how he gave her strength when we held hands and danced in the living room. Seeing the farmers hold hands, supporting each other, and grounding each other. I think it grounded me again.
Lou nodded.
Because you care about these people. Just like you've become a part of their family. They've become a part of yours. And family is a strength.
He put his hands on his son's shoulders, filled with emotion.
You're amazing today. But with or without your powers, you've always made me and your mother very proud.
Cole and Lou grinned as the farmers rushed toward them, slapping Cole on the back.
I have to say, your powers come back with a real sense of timing.
Lou said, with a wink.
You must get it from your dad.
Chapter 5. One Last Obstacle. Cole and Lou stayed at the farm a while longer and helped rebuild the barn and plant new crops. During that time, Takanagi never returned, nor was he seen at all. After a few days, they heard good news. Takanagi had, in fact, sold all his land because he decided it was too much trouble and was headed far away to pursue a different empire in something easier, like pillowcases. Cole's prediction about a bully's behavior had in fact proven true. Much relieved, the farmers dreamed of having a bumper crop the next harvest season and using the profits to buy all the land Takanagi once had so they could start their own vegetable empire. When the barn was done, Sally Bob saw Cole and Lou approaching, carrying their bags.
You'll believe it now, I expect.
The Royal Blacksmiths have some big shows coming up,
Lou told them with a smile.
But when we come this way, I'll make sure there are tickets for you.
Well, crops don't go to shows, and neither do we. But in your case, I reckon we could make an exception.
She turned to Cole.
You going on the road with your dad?
Lou looked at Cole, too. He'd wondered the same thing.
I'm going back to the monastery as Pijitsu,
Cole said.
If I've rediscovered my true potential and my powers are back, that may have happened for the other ninja too. If so, maybe it's time to become a team again. But I'll never forget my time here, Sally Bob, and how you've helped me feel balanced and grounded again. If Takangi or anyone else ever threatens you, send word to the monastery and I'll come and help.
I reckon we wouldn't need you for that,
Sally Bob said.
Now that you've taught us how to stick up for ourselves, but if you're free around harvest time...
I'll be here,
Cole laughed. They all shook hands and Cole and Lou walked toward the gate.
I'm glad we got to spend some time together, son,
Lou said. Cole put an arm around his dad's shoulders.
Me too. Dad, you're as much of a hero as Mom was.
Oh no, I'm just a song and dance man who can juggle a little bit,
Lou said modestly.
I'm serious. By keeping Mom grounded, you brought her balance and strength so she could be the hero she needed to be. In part, because of you, she was able to help a lot of people she wouldn't have been able to otherwise. That means you helped them too.
I guess I never thought of it like that,
Lou said, embarrassed.
Thank you, Cole. But is it okay if I leave the fighting part of being a hero to people like you?
They walked a few more steps, laughing. Then Cole noticed something ahead.
Looks like we forgot to say goodbye to somebody.
Henry the Yak stood between them and the gate, chewing some grass. He was acting as if he wasn't looking at them, but Cole had a feeling the Yak was intentionally blocking them. Cole walked up and patted Henry on his flank.
Henry, old buddy,
Cole told the animal.
I'm gonna miss you, but I'll see you soon for harvest.
Henry moved a few steps to the side, allowing them to access the gate. Now he was looking Lou straight in the eye.
I think he wants you to say goodbye too, Dad,
said Cole.
Really? Well, okay.
He walked up to Henry's snout, unsure of what to say.
Well, Henry, I guess.
But before he could get another word out, Henry licked his face again with his slobbery tongue, covering him in yak drool. Cole laughed as Lou wiped his face with his sleeve. Lou was laughing too.
You're a funny yak,
said Lou.
Have you ever thought about coming on the road and performing?
Lou and Cole walked out of the gate and down the road together. Henry grunted and moved over to another patch of grass and went on with his day. Kai. Chapter 1. Kai's Lost Spark. It was another busy night at Master Chen's Noodle House in Ninjago City. Customers filled every seat in the colorful restaurant, gobbling down bowls of fried rice, puffy pot stickers, and the best noodles in the world of Ninjago.
Look how many noodles I could slurp all at once!
Kai, the fire ninja, leaned over his piping hot bowl of food and dug in with a pair of chopsticks. A few of the customers looked up from their meals to stare at Kai. Meanwhile, on the other side of the counter, the owner of the restaurant, Skylar Chen, sighed.
It looks like the same amount of noodles you served 5 minutes ago.
Skylar said, brushing a stray lock of dark red hair behind her ear.
Don't you have anything better, something more important to do?
Kai wiped his mouth with the sleeve of his sweatshirt and frowned.
No more fire powers, remember? There's nothing important for me to do anymore.
Above her, a TV screen was tuned to NGTV News. Veteran reporter Gail Gossip appeared on screen, standing on a busy Ninjago City street. In the distance, police sirens waited.
Crime in Ninjago City has been rising steadily ever since word got out that the ninja have lost their elemental powers,
the reporter was saying.
I tried to contact the ninja for comment, but they're not returning my calls. In this reporter's opinion, they seem to have forgotten who they really are. Powers or not, Ninjago City needs you.
Skylar stared at Kai in surprise.
You haven't returned her calls?
Kai shrugged.
I haven't charged my phone in days,
he said.
What's the point? Without my fire powers, I've lost my spark.
That's not true.
Skylar insisted.
You still know Spinjitzu. You're still as smart as you ever were. And brave. You can still do good in the world.
Ninjago City has an excellent police force,
Kai replied.
They don't need me getting in their way.
Skylar shook her head.
This isn't like you, Kai. Didn't you lose your elemental powers once before? You got them back in the Netherrealm, right? Just by digging deep inside yourself?
That time in the Netherrealm, I brought my fire powers back with intense focus and concentration,
Kai said.
But I just can't do it this time. I've tried and tried. It's no use.
He slurped down some more noodles to make his point. Then a voice came from the restaurant's kitchen.
The pot stickers are less than puffy again.
Coming!
Skylar yelled. She turned to Kai.
This conversation is not over.
Kai ate some more noodles. Then the noodle shop door slammed loudly, and a thunderous voice cried out.
The rotten rabbits are in the house.
Kai turned to see that 3 muscled guys had burst into the restaurant. They each wore black eye masks and had long, curly mustaches that looked like whiskers. Their teeth were sharpened into fangs, and blades shaped like rabbit ears extended from their black helmets. On their feet, they wore heavy black boots that looked like big rabbit feet.
This is a robbery,
the first rotten rabbit shouted.
Give us all your money,
cried the second rotten rabbit.
And be quick about it,
added the third rotten rabbit. Kai sighed. Several gangs of amateur goons had formed when news got out that the ninja had lost their powers, and this looked like one of them. He stood up and faced the robbers.
Why don't you bad bunnies hop back to whatever greasy garden you came from?
Who's going to make me?
The main rotten rabbit asked.
Oh, it's Kai, the fire, Kai the ninja.
One of the noodle customers yelled. The rotten rabbit eyed Kai.
A ninja? Really? He looks like a dude in a hoodie with noodle broth stains on it.
A teeny, tiny spark flared up in Kai.
Oh yeah? I'll show you,
Kai said.
Ninja!
Rotten rabbits, hop to it,
the main robber yelled. Before Kai could launch into Spinjitzu, the 3 rabbits all kicked him with their big boots. He soared through the air and crashed into a large fish tank. The tank toppled over him, dousing him with water.
What's going on here?
Skylar emerged from the kitchen, and her eyes narrowed as she assessed the situation.
Hi-ya!
She launched herself over the counter and landed in front of the stunned rabbit robbers. Before they could react, she attacked them.
Oh.
A powerful leg sweep brought one of the robbers to his knees. She grabbed the second robber and flipped him, pounding him into the ground. She then jumped and delivered a high kick to the main robber, sending him crashing into a table. Terrified, the robbers scrambled to their feet.
Run, rabbits, run!
Their leader yelled. Skylar stepped over the broken table and helped Kai to his feet.
See what I mean?
He asked. Water dripped from his hair and clothes as he scooped up the flopping fish and put them back in the tank.
I couldn't even take care of a bunch of low-level goons. It's hopeless! Without my fire powers, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do.
Skylar stared at Kai with a worried frown. Meanwhile, on the TV screen, Gale Gossip moved on to the next story.
In other news, villages on the outskirts of Ninjago are being terrorized by a gang of people known as the Fire Fiends.
She said. The scene cut to an interview with one of the villagers, a terrified-looking man.
These fire fiends worship a giant flaming serpent.
The man said.
I've seen with my own eyes.
Kai's mouth dropped open.
Firefang, of course!
He cried.
Why didn't I think of it before?
Firefang?
Skylar asked.
You mean that enormous snake created by Asphira?
Asphira created Firefang after she stole my elemental powers.
Kai reminded her.
Firefang's powers all come from me. All I have to do is find Firefang, and I can get my powers back.
Chapter 2. The Fire Fiends. Kai raced for the door. Skylar pulled him back.
Whoa, slow down, Kai.
She said.
I mean, it's good to see you've got some pep back in your step, but are you seriously going to run to the outskirts of Ninjago wearing a stained sweatshirt in the middle of the night?
Kai frowned.
Well, I hadn't exactly thought it out.
I'll stay here and clean this up. You go home and get a good night's sleep.
Skylar instructed.
Get your ninja gear out of the closet. I'll pick you up tomorrow with some supplies. This could be a dangerous journey.
You don't need to come with me.
Kai shot back.
This is a personal quest, and I've got to do it on my own. I can handle this. I can...
A flopping fish from the fish tank slid out of his sleeve and fell to the floor. Skylar gently picking it up and put it back in the tank with the others.
I won't get in your way.
She promised.
I know you've got this. It's just, maybe a road trip would be good for us? I mean, we haven't even been out on a real date yet.
I visit you every night at the noodle shop.
Kai protested.
That does not count as a date.
Skylar replied. Kai couldn't argue.
All right, you can come with me.
Gee, thanks.
Skylar replied, rolling her eyes.
See you at sunrise.
Still dripping from his clash with the fish tank, Kai walked down the streets of Ninjago City to the small basement apartment he'd moved to after he'd lost his fire powers. He hadn't been the first to leave, however. Zane, the ice ninja, had retreated to the Samurai X cave with the android Pixel, who had created some experimental software that she thought would help Zane regain his ice powers. Then Cole, the earth ninja, had left the city for a simple life on the farm. And Jay, well, the lightning ninja didn't tell anyone where he was going. Nia, the water ninja, was busy saving the world in her revamped Samurai X mech. That had left Kai with Master Wu and Lloyd. When he wasn't busy helping rebuild the monastery, the green ninja continued to train, and Lloyd had tried to get Kai to train with him every day. But Kai's heart just hadn't been in it.
I want to try living an ordinary life,
he said, and he'd packed a bag of clothes and ventured into Ninjago City. He found a place near the noodle shop, where he spent most of his free time. During the day, he worked odd jobs around the city, and at 5 o'clock, he headed to the restaurant and lingered there, talking to Skylar, eating noodles, and watching the giant TV. There wasn't much to his apartment except a bed, a table, a bathroom, and a small kitchen area with a sink, mini fridge, and electric stovetop. The only time he spent there was to sleep. If he lingered for too long, he would be alone with his thoughts, and he hated that. Kai changed out of his wet clothes and into dry sweats. Then he pulled a duffel bag from under his bed and unzipped it. Inside, neatly folded, were his red ninja jacket, pants, and a belt.
I'm not sure if I'm ready for this,
Kai thought.
But tonight, I let a bunch of inexperienced goons with a ridiculous name kick my butt, and Skylar had to save it. I need to be the fire ninja, and the only way I'm going to do that is if I put on this uniform, defeat Firefang, and get my powers back.
The next morning, Skylar pulled up in front of the building in a small three-wheel delivery vehicle with Mr. Chen's Noodle House in bright letters on the side.
This is what we're driving on our adventure?
Kai asked, wearing his uniform.
It's got all it takes for out-of-the-way deliveries.
Skylar replied.
Don't be fussy. Hop in.
Kai climbed into the passenger seat. Skylar grinned at him.
Looking good, Kai. Red is so your color.
She said.
And your hair is styled.
Thanks. You look nice too.
Kai replied. Skylar had donned her fighting uniform. Her hair was pulled back into a ponytail. She was an elemental master too, just like Kai had been. As the Master of Amber, she could temporarily use the power of any other elemental master she touched. That meant that most of the time, she had to rely on her combat training in battle. Skylar had inherited her amber powers from her mother, and had been trained in the martial arts by her father. Master Chen had tried to take advantage of his daughter's power by luring all the elemental masters to an island so he could steal them. And that was how Skylar and Kai had first met. Skylar had helped her dad at first, but decided in the end to help the ninja. She'd been an ally to them, and a good friend to Kai ever since.
So, where exactly are we going?
Kai asked as Skylar drove through the city streets.
I called the NGTV news station and got the coordinates for the village from the news story last night.
Skylar replied.
It'll take us most of the day to get there, but I brought snacks.
She held up a bag from the noodle shop.
Not so puffy pot stickers. Not good enough for my customers, but just fine for a road trip.
They drove for hours, listening to music, snacking, and talking. Their journey took them out of the city, over rolling hills and through farmland. By the afternoon, the terrain had changed to more open, flat land. Kai could see what looked like desert sands in the distance, bordered by low, reddish mountains.
The village should be just over this ridge,
Skylar said, and Kai looked at her with gratitude. As much as he thought he needed to make this journey alone, it was good to have company, especially Skylar's. But he felt his palms sweat as they crossed the ridge.
Can I really beat Firefang without my elemental powers?
He wondered to himself. As they drove over the sprawling land, they soon spotted an oasis of green and activity nearby. A stream flowed down from one of the mountains and snaked through a small village. Modest homes and shops were clustered on either side of the stream, and crops grew on the western side of the settlement. Skylar drove the delivery vehicle into the center of the village and parked. A curious crowd quickly approached.
Noodle delivery? All the way out here?
A woman asked as Skylar emerged from the vehicle.
We're not selling food, we're here because...
Skylar replied.
It's Kai, the famous ninja! He's come to save us from the fire fiends!
Someone yelled, and the villagers began to swarm Kai.
Okay, everyone please back off! You're messing up my hair!
Kai said, and the villagers quieted down and obeyed as the ninja patted his hair back into place. A cute little girl gazed at Kai with admiring eyes.
Is it true? Are you here to save us from the fire fiends?
Well, sure,
Kai said.
I mean, we're looking for that big snake they hang around with, Firefang.
A man steps forward and points north.
You will find Firefang there, in the Lake of Fire,
he said.
The snake came to the crater many months ago.
A white-haired woman chimes in.
Those who live around the crater have always worshipped fire. They kept to themselves. But when Firefang arrived, they worshipped him. And that's when the trouble started.
A teenage boy spoke up.
They began to attack the villages in this region, burning down the houses and bringing the plunder back to Firefang.
A man added.
They have attacked us once already, and we are trying to rebuild.
Kai gazes around at the village and sees what he hadn't noticed before. Some of the homes were just shells of charred wood. Other buildings were under construction with fireproof bricks made of red clay.
How far away is this lake of fire?
He asked.
Just an hour's journey in your truck.
The man replied.
Although, I must warn you, many have tried to face the fire fiends, and all have failed.
And now we have the master fire on our side!
The girl said, gazing at Kai with admiration.
And the Master of Amber, too.
Skylar said. The man puts his hand on his daughter's shoulder.
We're glad you're here, Kai, but haven't you... Well, people say you've lost your powers.
He's still a ninja.
Skylar interjected. Kai frowned.
It's okay, Skylar. It's true. I don't have my elemental powers of fire, but that's only temporary. As soon as I find Firefang...
A loud bell rang through the village.
The fire fiends are attacking!
Someone yelled, and before the villagers could flee, flaming balls of fire began to rain down.
This way!
Skylar cried, and she raced toward the direction of the fireballs. Kai followed her to the edge of the village, where a small army was lined up on the edge of the crop field. Each soldier wore a bright orange uniform with a protective vest, and a helmet shaped like the head of a snake. All the fire fiends had flaming torches, and several were operating red cannons shooting fireballs. Kai's eyes narrowed.
Stand back, Skylar! I got this!
He said.
Ninjago!
Chapter 3. The Lake of Fire. Kai spun into a spinjitzu tornado and launched himself at the fire fiends. The soldiers in the first line thrust out their flaming torches as Kai approached. The ninja managed to knock down a few, but...
Ow! Ouch! Ow!
The flames singed Kai every time he made contact. He stopped spinning and rolled on the ground, putting out the flames. Skylar raced up to him.
Kai, I have an idea. There's a...
I told you I got this!
Kai cried, jumping to his feet.
Ninja! Ow!
Kai tried to dodge the torches and fireballs, but there were too many fire fiends. Once again, he has to stop and put out the fires leaping from his uniform. And then... an enormous wave of water washed over Kai and the fire fiends, putting out all of the torches and disabling the fireball cannons. One of the fire fiends, who had golden flames attached to his helmet, cried out.
Foul water. Hydration prevents us from salvation.
Kai shook the water out of his hair and turned to see Skylar, standing next to a toppled water tower in the field.
I told you I...
Kai began.
Kai! Spinjitzu!
Skylar yelled.
Of course!
Kai thought.
Ninjago!
He launched into another spinjitzu tornado, and this time it worked. One by one, he collided with the fire fiends, sending them flying.
Retreat! Retreat!
Cried their leader, and the fire fiends ran off. Skylar approached Kai.
Now that's what I call teamwork.
She said with a grin.
Yeah, well, thanks for your help, but I could have done it on my own.
Kai muttered. He looked down and turned away from her.
She knows I'm lying. Without my powers, I'm nothing.
He thought bitterly.
I need to find Firefang and get my powers back.
Skylar frowned.
You know, Kai, I know you're going through something, so I'm being pretty patient with you. but I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Kai sighed.
I'm sorry. I know you're trying to help, but I just know that if I don't do this on my own, it's not going to work.
How can you be so sure of that?
Skylar asked.
You, of all people, should know that working on a team is better than working alone. Where would you be without Master Wu and the other ninja?
I don't know. Maybe I'd still have my powers.
Kai grumbled. Skylar shook her head.
This is not the Kai I know.
She said.
I'm not the Kai I know.
He replied.
Fine.
Skylar said.
Let's get you to Firefang and see if your plan works. Let's jump in our three-wheeler and...
Maybe you should stay here and protect the village.
Kai had said. Skylar shook her head.
Those hotheads retreated as soon as they got a little wet. I don't think they'll be back anytime soon. This is the perfect time to get the Firefang.
All right.
Kai reluctantly agreed.
But don't get in my way.
He thought. They made their way back to the delivery vehicle and got directions to the Lake of Fire from the villagers. Kai and Skylar made the hour trip in silence. Skylar slowed down when the crater came into view and pulled behind a rock formation.
We should probably walk the rest of the way, so the fire fiends don't see us coming.
She suggested.
Sounds good.
Kai agreed, and they exited the vehicle. The Lake of Fire was a huge circle of flames at the base of one of the mountains. Jagged red rocks surrounded the lake's perimeter. There was no sign of the Fire Fiends or Firefang, except for a giant stone statue of Firefang, overlooking one side of the fiery lake.
This must be the place.
Skylar quipped.
How can a lake of fire exist anyway?
Kai wondered out loud.
Is this some kind of magic?
Looks like a crater to me.
Skylar replied.
There must be natural gas escaping from the fissures in the crater, and all it would take is one spark.
And the crater would burn, and keep burning until the natural gas runs out.
Kai had realized.
That's pretty cool, actually.
Hot is more like it.
Skylar said, breaking into a grin.
I'm starting to sweat. Let's take a quick break and come up with a plan.
She ducked behind another large rock, and Kai followed. Skylar peered out from behind it.
It looks deserted.
She said.
But see, on the opposite side of the crater? That looks like an entrance into the mountain. Maybe that's where they all live.
Kai spied the cave-like entrance, and his eyes lit up.
Firefang's got to be in there! Time to get my powers back!
He darted out from behind the rock and raced toward the crater.
Kai, no! Wait!
Skylar cried out.
I'm not going to let her stop me from doing what I have to.
Kai thought, and he launched into Spinjitzu and whirled across the sand toward the Lake of Fire. Seconds later, he came to a stop. The heat from the crater assaulted him, but he did not turn back. He climbed to the rim of the crater, where a pathway around the perimeter led to the mountain entrance.
Firefang's gotta be in there!
Kai thought, and he sprinted along the edge of the fiery crater until the surface beneath his feet dropped, and he plummeted toward the leaping flames below. Chapter 4 Firefang. Kai felt a hand grab his wrist and pull him up. Skylar had saved him.
Oh boy, you're tough to keep up with,
Skylar said, panting.
What? I don't understand. I didn't slip, did I?
Kai asked. Skylar shook her head.
No, I think it was a booby trap.
She said.
You must have stepped on a stone that gave way under your weight.
She motioned to a square-shaped hole in the pathway that she had just pulled him from. She's right, he thought. But instead of gratitude, confusion and anger bubbled up inside of him.
You didn't have to try to catch up to me!
He yelled.
You didn't even need to be here!
Oh no, I just saved you from an extra crispy fate.
Skylar shot back.
Just stop saving me, okay? I'll never get my powers back if I don't do this myself!
Kai replied.
I don't need you, Skylar!
The glare in her eyes faded and was replaced with a flicker of hurt.
Sure, Kai.
Skylar said.
Good luck trying to defeat the Firefang on your own.
She hopped over a hole in the path and jogged back to the delivery vehicle. Kai felt a quick pang of regret as he watched her go and then brushed it aside.
Skylar's the best,
he thought.
But this is my quest, not hers. I need to do this on my own.
Remembering her warning about booby traps, Kai slowly made his way to the cave entrance, jumping over any cracks he saw in the path. When he reached the cave entrance, he paused.
Looks too easy,
he said, and, as a precaution, he picked up a rock and threw it through the opening. Flames shot out from the bottom of the entranceway. If Kai had walked through it, he would have been toast. The flames receded, and Kai frowned.
There has to be a way to beat this,
he thought. He then tossed another rock. The flames leapt up again, and then started to recede.
Gotta get the timing just right,
Kai thought, and he tossed a third rock through the opening.
Here goes nothing.
He jumped over the flames just as they had died down, spinning into a somersault when he hit the ground. The flames leapt up behind him, but he safely avoided them. Kai grinned.
See, Skylar? I don't need help!
He announced into the darkness of the cave. In the distance, Kai hears what sounded like rhythmic chanting. He moved forward slowly and carefully, traveling through a cramped tunnel-like passageway through the mountain. The path opened into a large, bowl-shaped room. Fire fiends in their orange armor marched in a circle around a serpent half as tall as a Ninjago City skyscraper. Black scales rippled down the creature's body. Yellow eyes glowed inside his face, and two long, sharp fangs grew from its wide mouth. Horns grew from the serpent's head, and a cobra's hood fanned out from behind them. The fire inside the creature burned hot, glowing orange-red between his scales and flickering throughout his hood.
Fire Fang!
Kai thought.
And that's my fire, running through those veins.
Kai heard the chant of the fire fiends more clearly now.
We hail you, Fire Fang. We are your loyal gang.
They're not carrying their torches,
Kai thought.
So I should be able to get past them. But then what? Asphira used sorcery to steal my fire powers when she gave them to Fire Fang. But I'm no magician.
The ninja stared at Fire Fang, thinking. He felt especially drawn to the snake's yellow eyes, but forced himself to look away. They're hypnotic, Kai thought, as an idea came to him.
I need to distract him and get close enough to steal my powers back.
Kai stepped out into the dark tunnel.
Ninjago!
He cried.
Intruder!
Yelled the leader of the fire fiends, and they all scrambled to light their torches. The Fire Fang hissed and shot a blast of fire at Kai. Spinning, he narrowly avoided it. Then he launched himself into the air. Still spinning, Kai soared up to the Fire Fang's eyes. He twirled back and forth, and the giant beast began to sway. The fiery glow beneath his scales and hood subsided. The hypnotic spin of Kai's spinjitzu tornado had both confused and calmed the creature. Seeing his chance, Kai stopped spinning and leapt onto the back of Fire Fang's head. He wasn't entirely sure what he was supposed to do, but he knew he had to try. He placed both hands on Fire Fang's hot scales.
Okay, Fire Fang, give it back to me. Give me back my fire!
Fire Fang stirred, and Kai heard the creature hiss. The serpent's scales became hot to the touch, and Kai could spot the fiery glow growing under them.
Come on! It's mine! Give me my fire back!
Kai yelled. Fire Fang roared and thrashed his head, sending Kai tumbling to the ground. He landed on a pile of rocky rubble, mixed with plundered treasures that the fire fiends had collected for Fire Fang. Mostly metal tools and pots and pans, and other items that wouldn't burn. Fire Fang aimed a fiery blast at him, and Kai rolled out of the way. Kai tried to rise to his feet, but Fire Fangs thrashed wildly, sending heavy rocks tumbling onto Kai's legs, pinning him in place. Firefang then leaned over Kai, who looked into those yellow eyes once again.
This fire. This has nothing to do with me.
He thought.
It's not mine anymore. It's Firefang's. I can't take it. I need to find it within myself. Somehow.
Then he sees another fire blast forming, deep inside the creature's throat. Chapter 5. Fighting Fire with Fire.
Nice try, Toothy!
Skylar raced into the cave and flipped into the offerings pile, picking up a large metal garbage can lid as her feet landed. Then she jumped between Kai and Firefang and blocked the fiery blast, using the lid as a shield. Kai quickly kicked away from the rocks and jumped to his feet. Skylar dropped the red-hot shield, and Kai saw she was wearing Master Chen's fireproof oven mitts on her hands.
Why didn't I think of those?
He thought. They run away just as Firefang aimed another blast of fire at them. They ran into the temple, speeding toward the lake of fire. Kai stopped and looked at Skylar.
You didn't leave after all,
he said. Skylar shrugged.
Like I said, you're not yourself. I thought maybe I should keep an eye on you. It's a good thing I did.
Kai flashed back to the smell of Firefang's hot breath and the feeling of helplessness as the creature pinned him down. Without Skylar, he'd be toast. He remembered the time he had discovered his true potential, when he needed to realize he needed to protect the Green Ninja. Everything he did from then on, every decision he made was based on protecting others. Then he had thought about what Skylar had tried to tell him, about all the other times his sister, Nia, and his friends, Lloyd, Cole, Jay, and Zane, had helped him in a tight spot. They had saved him, and he'd saved them, and together they've been able to save countless others.
I can't protect others unless I let other people protect me too,
he realized out loud, and as he said the words, his eyes glowed red, and he felt the power flow within him. Fire sprouted from his hands.
Kai!
Skylar cried.
Your fire powers are back.
Yes!
He said.
And just in time.
The cry of the fire fiends echoed from the tunnel as they charged toward the lake of fire.
Hey, Skylar.
Kai said, looking into her eyes directly.
What?
Skylar asked.
Power up,
he said.
We're finishing this together. You were right all along. I can't defeat Firefang and the Fire Fiends without your help!
Skylar touched his arm, and an orange glow swept through her body and then faded. Red flame flashed in her eyes.
Ready,
she said.
Time to fight fire with fire.
The fire fiends now charged out of the cave entrance, holding their flaming torches. Kai and Skylar shot fireballs at the attackers. The flames hit their fireproof armor and harmlessly flamed out. Kai and Skylar kept shooting their fireballs, and the fire fiends continued to advance. Kai frowned, and then he had a thought.
They can carry fire, but we can manipulate it,
he called out. Skylar grinned.
Right.
Kai pointed at the flaming torch of one of the fire fiends. He raised his hand, and the fire lifted up from the torch and floated in the air. Then Kai swung his arm behind him, and the flame flew throughout the air and joined the flames in the lake of fire.
Nice!
Skylar cheered.
But can you do a double?
She held out both arms. Concentrating, she manipulated the flames on 2 more torches. Fire fiends then charged at her, and she held out both arms again. But the fiends kept coming, and their torches bright with flame.
My power ran out!
She cried.
I got this!
Kai said.
After all, you've saved me a bunch of times already. Now I can return the favor. Ninjago!
Kai spun into a spinjitzu tornado, knocking the fire fiends off the rim of the crater. Skylar changed tactics and kicked the torches out of their hands so Kai could easily finish them off. When the last fiend was toppled, Kai whirled over to Skylar for a high five.
I think we qualify as a power couple now,
he said, and then a huge wave of fire blasted from inside the tunnel. Kai and Skylar dove in opposite directions to escape it. Firefang then emerged into the daylight. Flames leapt from the serpent's hood. Kai looked at Skylar.
I got this. I mean it this time,
he said. Skylar grinned.
Glad to see the old Kai is back.
Kai turned back to Firefang.
Did you think we forgot about you, pal?
He called out.
Your little goons can't protect you now.
Kai's eyes glowed as he built up the fire inside of him for a massive blast. He extended both arms toward Firefang. The fiery assault hit the serpent straight on. Firefang then wobbled, but when the smoke cleared, the fireproof scales had largely protected the creature. Firefang's mouth opened.
Nice try,
Kai said, and he raised his arms and concentrated as the ferocious blast shot out. The flames flew up over the creature's head and crashed into the mountain, where it fizzled against the rocks.
Skylar, I need your help!
Kai called out.
You got it,
Skylar replied. Kai then rocketed towards Firefang in a spinjitzu tornado. Skylar races across the crater to join him. Kai and Skylar then made contact, sending the creature flying off the crater. Stunned, the great serpent lay motionless on the sand.
He won't be down for long,
Kai remarked.
Yeah.
Skylar agreed.
We need to find some way to protect the villages from...
The sound of a small army of motors interrupted her. Kai and Skylar spun around to see dozens of trucks and cars making their way toward the lake of fire. They ran to greet them. The man they recognized from the village gets off of an all-terrain vehicle.
We all talked, and we thought it wasn't fair for you both to face the Firefang and the Fire Fiends alone,
he said.
Do you need any help?
Kai and Skylar looked at each other and grinned.
What do you think?
Skylar asked.
I mean, we need help, but what can the villagers do?
Kai glanced over the giant statue of Firefang.
I think there's something we can all do together.
A short time later, Kai stood on top of the Firefang statue. Dozens of ropes had been tied around it. The ropes were stretched across the lake and secured to the bumpers of all the villagers' vehicles.
Let's do this!
Kai yelled, and the engines roared as they surged forward. Kai jumped off down the statue's head as the statue fell head first into the lake of fire, smothering the flames in the crater. The fire fiends, groggy from their spinjitzu schooling, stumbled toward the crater. Smoke from the smothered fire wafted up from the edges.
A fire.
They moaned. The villagers cheered. Kai and Skylar high-fived. Then Skylar frowned.
Wait, Firefang must be recovered by now,
she said. Kai and Skylar raced back to the spot of the crater where Firefang had fallen. The creature was gone.
Whoa, it just vanished.
Skylar remarked.
Maybe looking for a new place to hang out,
Kai guessed.
A sphere created Firefang.
Skylar pointed out.
Maybe it returned back to elemental energy.
We may never know,
Kai added. They made their way back to the cheering villagers.
So, you got your powers back,
Skylar said.
What now?
Well, I guess I'll go back to Master Wu and Lloyd and see if there's any news from the other ninja,
Kai said.
They might need our help.
Skylar nodded.
But first, you and I need to celebrate,
Kai added.
What do you have in mind?
Skylar asked.
I was thinking,
Kai said as he hopped into the passenger seat of the noodle delivery vehicle.
Maybe it's time to find out what this new red-hot team of Kai and Skylar can do together. I mean, the city is a real mess right now.
Skylar grinned.
I'm in,
she said, starting the engine.
No sleep till Ninjago City.
Thank you for allowing me to share the stories of Kai, Zane, Cole, and Jay with you, friend. As you have read, there was no sorcery involved when the ninja regained their elemental powers. Kai needed to accept that he couldn't always be the hero in every situation, and he learned a valuable lesson about the importance of accepting help when it is offered. I confess that I was older than Kai when I learned that lesson myself. As for Zane, well, he did not hesitate to ask for help in finding his powers. He turned to someone who has helped him many times in the past, and someone he trusts perhaps above all others. Pixel. Zane's journey deep into the banks of his fractured memories made him realize that we all need to be able to forgive ourselves for any wrongdoings, or else we cannot move on in life. A sense of inner peace and wholeness helped Cole and Jay restore their elemental powers and true potential. Giving and receiving strength from your family and the people you care about balances and grounds you. Once Cole realized this, the path to rediscovering his true potential became clear. Jay's secret to unlocking his true potential was buried very deep within himself, and he probably wouldn't have been successful without his most unexpected guide, Unagami. The boy helped Jay realize that the family he'd been missing were, in fact, all the people who loved him, cared for him, and stood by his side when he needed them. When I reflect on these stories, two lessons emerge. First, one can always count on one's friends. And second, no one is ever truly powerless. The stories of others can be instructive in our very lives. Sometimes we can learn something new, and other times we can remember something lost that may have been forgotten. Please, come visit me again. When the ninja are concerned, there are always more stories to tell over a cup of refreshing tea. Sincerely, Master Wu. The end.